So this is the time for humanities. This is humanity's choice point. You are at this choice point to move into a new earth or to stay in your comfort zone. And your choice point is going to create the next chapter of your life. So this is really, we are at this critical point. Now 2025 is the critical point for the timeline shifts. You're going to 5D or you're staying where you are. This is so important because one is a planet of entrapment, and 5D is a planet of freedom. Entrapment or freedom. This is humanity's choice at this time. Hi, my name is Leela, and I am a quantum alchemist, and I live in the UK. I've been doing this work for a very long time, helping clients and global retreats, running workshops and all kinds of things we do, channeling courses, all kinds of things. We are here to help humanity shift into the higher vibrations. And I'm also a Blu-ray. So as a Blu-ray, we have the coding of unity consciousness, and we are here to help humanity move into the higher vibrations of light. I work with many star systems, many star beings. We work with many ascended councils of light. I am councils of light. But with the angelic kingdoms, the ascended masters, the power admirals, the divine feminine goddesses, the entirety of the cosmos, and we co-create together. So I receive direct downloads from source and from the guides, and then we create for humanity and for our community. Well, I started a journey. The angels, I was in a very dark place at that time. I was very lost. I knew I was here to do something very beautiful. My career was in, finance and accountancy, and I worked in the corporate world for many years. I became a director in my field, and that was always my wish, and I thought that was it for me. And then my life suddenly changed. I got married, and then my mother-in-law got cancer, and I ended up looking after her for many, many years. Over 14 years I looked after her, and through that process of putting everyone else first and forgetting about my dreams and forgetting about myself and letting go of my career, I lost myself as a person. I lost my identity, and I ended up in a depression at 40, where I had to ask myself some very deep questions of who I am, why am I here on the planet, what have I come to do? I always knew there was something I came here to do. And then that I started, I remember I was working on the computer one day on a spreadsheet, and I just sat on the floor and I started to cry. I was just so down that day. I dropped the kids off to school and I came back home, and I just sat there thinking, what's next? I was in a very low place, and I didn't even realize I was going through a depression. And I went to my computer to start working again, and I went to the computer and there was a book on angels like that. I had left a spreadsheet on my computer, but when I went back to the computer, there was a book on Amazon about angels, and it was written, if you we can only help you and communicate with you if you call us in. And at that time I wasn't talking to the angels. I didn't have this connection. I didn't feel I had this connection with the angels. But then I just sat and I said, I surrendered in that moment, and I said, please, if you can hear me, please help me, I'm lost. And that day when I was leaving, to pick up the kids from school, there was a feather on my mat on the outside of my house. I got in my car and there were feathers floating around in my car. And then from that day, the angels just started to communicate with me. They guided me to start meditation. So I went and learned meditation. I started to do it like every day. I committed to the practice. And I started to see shifts in my life. The angels were really present. They started to help me to align with my path and who I was. I went on to do energy work, and when I started to do energy work, it literally opened up the entire cosmos for me. Like I could see, I knew where everything was. I knew where all the dimensions were. I knew how to travel through dimensions. I knew where the star systems were. I knew how to go to Venus and Andromeda and the Pleiades and Arcturus. I knew all the beings, and they started to communicate with me. And I could also see into the body. So I would say to souls, look, can you see this? And I would say, what I could see in the body. And Yeah, so when I started to, when I realized I had this gift, I'd be sometimes cooking in the kitchen and I'd just get a complete download. And I didn't realize these were downloads at the time. I'd literally feel this energy move through me and I would see the face of a being. So, say I would see Yeshua, Christ, or I would see Buddha, or I'd see Mary Magdalene, or Mother Mary, or Nikola Tesla as well. One day came through, Albert Einstein. So they just started to, I'd see their vision of their face, and the next minute I just get this download. And it was always when I'm cooking or when I'm most relaxed and, just going about my business. And then I'd have to grab a piece of paper. So I have all these channelings on the backs of envelopes, and I would just write it down, quickly grab a pen and write it down so that I had it. And I started to collect them. And one day one of my friends came around and he said to me, Neelam, I said, Rob, look, I've got all these, messages and I don't know what to do with them. So he said to me, show me, let me see them. So I started to show him the messages and he started to cry. And he said, Neelam, these are so beautiful. They are golden nuggets from the divine. You have to start sharing them. So that's when I was thinking, how do I share these messages with people? How do I share this information? The information sometimes 2 years in advance. And then I help others on their journey, or I receive information from the cosmos that I'm meant to share with humanity. So now my videos are me in front of the camera, sharing, guiding, supporting, and our global family is increasing, it's getting bigger because we have to navigate these times that we are moving through on Earth with a lot of change coming, and it's going to create a lot of upheaval for souls and confusion. And the universe needs now authentic guides who can receive information intuitively, who are compassionate holders of light, who can hold that peaceful presence to guide others on their path, And so the role keeps expanding, it keeps growing, but it's very, very beautiful. So I love what I do. I'm passionate about it. I'm here for a mission. I'm here to help humanity move into new earth and the higher vibrations in the fifth dimension. And we're fully committed and devoted. So we have been operating in the third and fourth dimension, the dimension of duality, so this or that, the polarity of emotions, light and dark. But as we move through to the fourth and the fourth dimension is where we're healing ourselves, we're releasing our trauma, we're letting go of our pain, we're letting go of our limitations and our lack mentality and poverty consciousness, and imbalance in control. We're healing our masculine and our feminine energy. So that's the fourth. But as we move into the fifth, we move beyond fear, we move beyond suffering, we move into the vibration of heaven on earth, where you are living as your authentic self, in your true self. You've healed a lot of your trauma, so you're not operating from fear. You are able to navigate your emotions, which means you have balance in your masculine and feminine. You are able to see a greater perspective of Earth. You are able to see how we are all interconnected. And you also are able to communicate with our guides. So you receive information. You live on the planet as a sovereign being, in your own leadership, in your own truth. And you live in peace. You live in peace, in love, in passion, in flow, doing what you love, and being abundant. And this is the key: where you live in abundance, knowing that your abundance comes from source. And it's very beautiful. So we're on our way there. And I take souls through the different dimensions. So in the sixth dimension, it's all green. When I go in and take souls through the dimensions, in the fifth dimension, it's like we're building new foundations for new earth, which are balanced, where there's a lot of sound and frequency and energy work that we work with. We build communities of love and compassion where everyone is seen, held, supported, and connected. And the planet thrives. In the fifth dimension, the planet thrives. We create pioneering ideas, innovations to help the planet thrive and help each other thrive. So we're all interconnected. We support one another. In the sixth dimension, when I go in, we see it's all green, like it's all green. So that there's new trees and plant life that is growing the sixth dimension. The soils are rich in the sixth dimension in the sense that they are looked after by humanity. So we feed the soils, we deplete the soils. Our animals are cared for, so we don't eat meat in the sixth. As we ascend, we realize that we respect the animals. Our medicines come from the plants, from the tree medicines, from the bark, from the leaves, and everything. We look after the ecosystems. The elders are respected. The children are respected and cared for. The women are respected and understood that they create, and they bring that beautiful, abundant energy through. So everything is peaceful in the sixth. Everything is peaceful, flowing, and we look out for each other. As we expand into the seventh, eighth, ninth, you've got all the star beings, the ascended masters, the angelic kingdoms, and they co-create and they have incredible, innovative technologies where they can help us. Currently, I go to the dimensions and I bring the frequency of those technologies to Earth to help souls. But in time, as we ascend, they will walk amongst us, they will be with us, and we will use their technologies very freely on the planet where then there's no more suffering and we thrive as human beings. So the dimensions are beautiful. I go up to like the 23rd dimension and also to the star systems. We bring the pods from the 22nd dimension, the Arcturian pods to Earth so that we can work on quantum health and healing. We work with the Andromedan starships, so we bring the starships and their technologies to Earth. They have incredible technology. We also work with the Arcturians from the 9th dimension and also the 11th dimension. So very different dimensions. The dimensions are all so different. But the way to access the dimensions is through the heart and the third eye. So we have to, like, meditation is a good tool to get beyond the mind so that we can connect with the subconscious and explore other dimensions because we come from there. So it's just remembering who we truly are. So the information that is coming through from the guides at this time, I channel information from Source and all the ascended beings. Archangel Michael and Archangel Metatron have been very present for the shift that's happening right now on Earth. The information that is constantly coming through is that there are a lot of things that are going to collapse next year because we've got these huge waves of light coming in that are going to shift us into a higher vibration. So where our foundations have been built on unstable grounds, where there have been power struggles, abusive connections, narcissistic connections, they're going to come crumbling down because they're not built from love, they're built from survival. So in 5D, your foundations are built from love, from compassion, from truth, from your authentic self, living from your true self, doing what your soul is meant to do here on the earth, and living in alignment with your destiny and your dharma. And if you are in relationships that are not loving, that are not supportive of your growth, where you have to dim your light, we cannot express yourself fully, those connections are going to crumble. Those tower moments are coming for humanity. If you're in a work situation that doesn't support you, but you hate going to work, you absolutely hate going in, and you hate what you do, then that's not aligned with love and unity consciousness in the fifth dimension. So that will come crumbling down, and you'll have to really get to align with your truth of who am I, what do I really love, finding out what makes you tick, what makes you happy, what you're passionate about, and what brings you the most joy. That will help you align with the new vibrations that are coming in: love, joy, freedom, expression, flow, fluidity, passion, doing what you love, living in balance, living in harmony, living in your peace, and expressing your true self here on the air. So anywhere where there's imbalance, anywhere where there are power dynamics, anywhere where you don't love where you are, your location, or your work or relationships, that hat is going to crumble. Where we are being controlled, like in financial services and banks, and anywhere where our money, where there's greed and manipulation and deception is coming down, is going to be revealed to humanity, where we will be able to see. As these light waves come in, we can see more of what's happening on the planet, and we can then start to change the systems that are currently operating You'll see a lot of things going on in governments, in politics. You'll see a lot going in the financial systems, a lot of changing. There is a changing of the guard coming in now, where new souls are now taking up leadership positions, compassionate leaders that care about humanity, that are not there to rob humanity, but they're here to be authentic, compassionate, kind, that have the vision to see the whole, to understand how interconnected we all are, and how to, leaders are here to help humanity, not deplete them. Not 1% get rich and the rest are left to suffer. No, building structures where everyone becomes abundant and everyone thrives. And new earth, and in the fifth dimension, we all thrive. We all thrive. We take care of each other using our soul gifts, and we all lift each other up. So lots of change coming, lots of tower moments, lots of shifts, lots of confusion as well. And a lot of people leaving the planet as well through this time. There's a mass exodus happening next year. This year, 2025, a lot of people, souls leaving the planet. But the reason why they're leaving the planet is, one, the soul's ready to go, or they've learned all their lessons that they wanted to learn at this time. But they're also leaving to wake up their families, to help their families heal grief and pain and heartache in their heart, so that they can open their hearts to let more light in, and also to remember, what's important in life. So 2024 was a year of reckoning, in the sense we had to look at ourselves, we had to get really intimate with ourselves, we had to ask ourselves a lot of soul searching questions of, why am I here on earth? There was a lot of healing as well that's been taking place. We've been healing a lot of ancestral trauma, childhood trauma, trauma that we've carried through the bloodlines, because we carry this trauma through our cells, our memories. And so we're understanding that in 2024 we've been balancing our karmic scales, and collectively there's a lot of karma playing it out with the wars in the Middle East, and the elections in the USA. There's a lot that's been happening. Also, Mother Earth has been kicking off, in the sense that there have been natural disasters as well. It's all to wake humanity up to remember how to work together, how to work in harmony. And when there's disharmony and dissonance, there is just disruption and chaos on the planet. And we're seeing that our thoughts, our emotions, our intentions affect the entire quantum field. We are starting to understand that as we evolve, that how we show up every day is how we affect the field. We affect humanity. We affect what goes on the planet. We affect the weather. We affect each other. So as we come back into peace within ourselves and no more conflict within the self, we also create peace around us, and as each one of us does that, we create peace on earth. It's just so powerful to understand. Sometimes we think we don't have impact, or we don't have, what can we do? We look outside and we see everything going on in the world. You see the wars, and you feel helpless. You see the natural disasters and you feel helpless. And you see the elections and you see all the craziness of everything that's happening. But then you've got to come back to yourself and to ask yourself, where am I in conflict within myself? Where am I not in peace within myself? Where am I not listening to my heart, not doing what I love, not creating that peaceful presence, not living from my heart and my joy? Where is my heart closed off to love? So when we start to do this work internally, as we shift and hold more light, we shift the quantum field, we shift the energetics on earth, and everything starts to change in our world. You move into a new vibration, and as you move into a new vibration, you hold more light in your body, and as you hold more light, you help lift the darkness up to be seen by humanity, to be seen by the collective, and then we can start to work on healing it, clearing it, releasing it, and bringing more harmony to the planet. So this time is about balance. We're seeing a world of imbalance. We're seeing a world of polarity. We're seeing the light and dark playing out on our world. We need to see the contrast of the two to get back to the middle path. And the journey now through 2025 and the future years is the middle path. We're no longer going to live in extremes. The extremes hurt our planet. They hurt us. We can't live from extremes one to the other, from the extremes of emotions. It's that constant balancing, 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 recalibrating, and staying in the middle path. So there's more harmony, there's more balance, there's more peace, there's more alignment, and there's more fluidity in our field and on the earth. So, yeah, we've seen the extremes, but now we're getting back to this, which is more alignment, more balance, more peace. In 2025, there will be a lot of financial changes, and that will cause a lot of fear for souls, but it's to remember that fear is an illusion and fear is just another doorway to another new beginning. So what fear will bring up when there's fear with money, and I do a course that I'm teaching now with multidimensional money and how to reprogram your belief system to abundance, which is the fifth dimension. The fifth dimension operates from abundance, and the abundance comes from source. And I show souls how to reprogram their mind because I've had to do it myself when I've gone through my shifts. And there is also a bank of source, like the bank of source, where your abundance, your inheritance, your divine inheritance comes from. We all have our divine inheritance that we're meant to receive on this earth. But it's about changing our mindset, changing our programming, changing our belief system around money and how we perceive money, how we receive money, because money is energy, and energy, the energy of money is meant to flow. But we have all these old belief systems that come from survival, that come from poverty. If you look back through our ancestors and what they went through, there's a lot of trauma around money and receiving. So we are healing that to step into abundance, also abundance of health as well and prosperity. So 2025 is going to bring up all of our fears, because we have to face our fears if we're going to step into the new earth vibrations. You can't take fear into new earth, into 5D. You cannot take your poverty consciousness into the fifth dimension. You cannot take your lack mentality into the fifth dimension. You cannot take the victim consciousness into 5D. You are a creator. You are a co-creator with the divine. You are sovereign. You are a leader of your life. You know your truth. You're worthy. You love yourself deeply. You have unconditional love for yourself. You don't fear. You step into the fear with grace. You face your fears. You face your shadow. You understand that the shadow is a teacher for you. You learn from it. You learn from your triggers, and then you come back into understanding what they're trying to teach you, how it's trying to empower you and guide you, how you're trying to, it's also showing you how to break the old cycles of addiction, codependency, dependency, obsessions, and the power dynamics that we play out in relationships. It's all wisdom for us all, if we can see it that way. So 2025, lots of financial changes that will create a lot of disruption, but it's to help us to step into abundance. A lot of changes on the planet, like weather changes, again, to help us wake up, to support Mother Earth, not deplete her, but work together to support her, not cut the trees down, and remembering that they are our lungs, and if we keep cutting the trees down, then we've got to plant more, because what are the future generations? Just think about the future generations and what we're creating on the earth and how that's going to affect the future generations of the children and the souls that are now coming off the planet. Are we going to give them a depleted planet, where it's not thriving, or are we going to build a planet that is thriving, that continues to thrive through the future? So a lot of education for humanity coming, a lot of innovative ideas coming to help the planet, but there is going to be this up, down, till we get this more balance through 2025. So shocks, changes, but also huge expansion and innovation. The biggest challenge of the human experience right now really is moving beyond fear. We've got an entrapment. We are meant to be a free humanity. We're meant to be free, but we are trapped. We are trapped in systems that keep us small. We're trapped in thoughts that keep us stuck. We're trapped in family units that don't see us, where we're too afraid to be our true selves. We're afraid of judgment and how we are perceived by the outside world and what they'll think of us if we step into more of who we want to be. There are social norms and cultural norms and society norms and religious belief systems that we're breaking down that tell us we have to live in a certain way. But that doesn't exist. Like, those are not aligned with the soul. They keep us trapped. They keep the soul trapped. So the problem on our planet right now is that the soul is expanding. Like, we're breaking out of our human suit, and this identity that you see is not me. I'm a group consciousness. I'm the entire cosmos, and as I expand, the cosmos wants to express through me. But how do I, allow myself to be perceived in the world? Am I afraid that people will judge me for this new being that's wanting to move through me? Am I willing to be open with my families, and friends of who I am and what I want to express? Am I afraid of judgments? Will I hold myself back and hurt myself? Because my soul is expanding, but if I hold myself and cage myself, then I'm trapped. My soul is trapped in my body. So I'm using I, but this is the conversations that are happening within all of us at this time, that we cannot control the soul from expansion. We've got to allow the soul to expand now and become whatever we're meant to become, and let go of judgment, let go of what anyone thinks of us. It's to be fully you and allow yourself to be fully you. So we're going through that metamorphosis. We're going through the dark night of the soul. We're going from the caterpillar to the butterfly, and we're changing. We're changing our identities. We're changing, releasing our density. We're becoming, we're facing our shadows. We're becoming the butterfly transformation, so that we can fly free and live in our truth and be who we came here to be, which is really beautiful. Yeah, so as we start to evolve and change, our old realities will crumble. And the reason they're going to crumble, and a lot of realities are going to crumble in 2025, because your energy shifted. Like, when you move, when your energy's moved, you're no longer here. So that starts to dissolve. That energy will start to dissolve. That reality will start to dissolve. And I often use the scenario and the metaphor of a PlayStation game. Like, when you're playing a PlayStation game, you're experiencing a reality. You're having an experience, a virtual experience of a reality where you're playing and get, whatever you're playing. But when you've done that level, the message comes up, congratulations, you've won the level, you've got past the whatever you need to get past, and there's your door to your next vibration, your next level. So you go through that next level, and when you go through into the next level, this reality is collapsed because it doesn't exist anymore. You've done that. You move into the next vibration. So when you move into the next vibration and the next level, you're going to have an experience on that level. So it's your next level to experience your reality, which means you're no longer in the level that you were. So that crumbles. Where energy is remembering that we are energy. Anything that, wherever you put your attention, that's where your energy goes. If your attention is on the earth and soul growth and the 5D, then that's where you're heading, which means your attention is no longer on the 3D. It's no longer in the old realities, which means that reality is going to collapse and crumble because your energy is not there, it's here. And so you're going to experience this reality. So the message to humanity is to let the old energy crumble. If your world starts to fall apart, like my world fell apart in 2019, and it can feel really, it's real. It brings up a lot of emotion and a lot of fears. But it's to allow that reality to crumble, but to know that because that reality is crumbling, your soul has moved into a new vibration, which means it's expanded, which means it now wants to experience something very different, a new energy and a new world. So it's to allow that process of the collapse of the old world, which can feel quite traumatic, but to also know at the end of the day that you are being moved into a new vibration where you're going to experience more of your true self. You're going to meet more aligned connections that are vibrating at the same frequency as your new self. You're going to be doing more of what you love, and you're going to live in more peace and harmony and alignment with your true self. So that process is not fun, and that's what's coming in 2025, the breaking down of the old, the collapse of the old, but then the stepping into the new, stepping into a new soul suit. So a lot of change, a lot of collapse, but the new, it has to collapse for the new to be built. You have to break down to break through. You have to break down to break through. You have to let go to have the new. You have to let go of the old energy to have the new. We are all going through this. We're all shifting and changing, and it's to have compassion with your journey, to have compassion with yourself, to be kind with your words, to be gentle with yourselves as you metamorphosize and become a new being of light, a cosmic being. You know, you are a cosmic being, you are a divine being. You come from source, you carry the coding of source in your being, and you're getting to know your true self through this time. So it's to look at our journey with love, with curiosity, with expansion, to allow our growth. And there's just so much magic and beauty coming through this time. So I have a YouTube channel that souls can, connect with me there. I will be navigating the shifts through this time, so they can reach me there